Breathe in. Breathe out. Do that again. One more time. Let your chin float down to your chest. Roll your head over your shoulder. Back to center and to the other side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once more on each side. And float your head up. Wrap your arms around your waist. Give yourself a nice twist. And then back to center, hips around, nice, generous circle. And the other direction. And then one foot in front. Let's go the other side. One foot in front. And roll that same side shoulder around. And then the other direction. Other side, other shoulder. And the other direction. Switch again, open and close your wings. Wrap your arms around your chest, gently fold forward. Open your wings wide, gentle back bend, very gentle. Switch feet. One more time. Feet right under your hips. Nice, big, generous circle with the right hand and the left. Then the other direction. And then make those circles horizontal. Just kind of relaxing the body, floating around. Other direction. Now take your wrists and gently roll them like I'm circling, sort of like I'm circling the wheel, but all in the wrist instead of in the arms. And then the other direction. And then take your hands, you're going to roll your fingers closed, and then you're going to open them. You're trying to articulate each fingers individually as possible. So little finger, ring finger, middle finger, first finger, thumb. And you close them in that order too. You can make as big of a circle or no, very little circle, it doesn't matter. I like to make kind of a generous, this helps remind me to roll one finger at a time when I roll them around like this. You may have more or less capability of articulating fingers individually, but work at it a little bit. I'll go the other way. So first, middle, ring, little, and then close them in that order too. Now alternate, little finger, open, close, First finger, open, close. Little finger, first. One more time. All right, so today I want you to focus on rule number 1, breathing. Before we even get started, we're going to practice expanding our breath capacity. So take your hands, put them right on your belly. Now, when you take a deep breath, relax all of the abdominals, all of the chest muscles, and let the air sink all the way down to your hands. And if you really do this right, your hands should move slightly out. And when you breathe out, slightly back. Don't make that happen. Allow it to happen. Just relax. If you take a deep breath and you relax, it'll happen naturally. You don't have to force it. I can feel my tummy moving as I breathe in. Now, the second part of this is to breathe in the side of your lungs, here, right? So as you take a deep breath, you not only feel the air go down, like it's pushing your diaphragm down, but you feel the lungs expanding sideways. And then breathe out, relax, do it again. You should feel these side ribs moving just a little bit. It's not a big motion. So your belly is expanding and your side ribs are expanding. This is the air going down, pushing down the diaphragm. This is the air filling up the side that we kind of ignore a lot. And then, if you can, put your hands on the ribs just below your shoulder blades and see if you can feel those expand also. So I'm breathing deeply. That's pushing the diaphragm down, expanding the lungs down. I'm breathing fully into the side, and I'm also breathing into the very back of my lungs. So I'm filling this whole part of my body deeply and fully. This is the hardest one to get, but if you can find it, you'll see a difference. You'll see, oh my gosh, fuller air, more lungs. And then just relax, but don't lose that deep, full breath. Down, sides, and back. And see if you can keep that really full, deep breath throughout all of our postures today. In fact, when you're not in a hurry, this is how you should breathe all the time. All right, so keep that action going to the best of your ability. Gather. This is a great place for it, right here. Breathe in, lungs down, lungs sideways, lungs back, and breathe out. One more time. We're not going to skip the lift and settle, but we will add hug the tree, because that's another way to feel your breath go to the side of your lungs. And let it go. Brush knee. So left hand, right foot, step, push. Feel that air down, sideways, back, and let it all go. Do it again. One more time. Switch feet. So the moment you get focused too much on moving your hands, moving your feet, you forget the lungs. Keep the lungs going down, sideways, back. Use your full capacity. Slowly, deeply. Relax. You breathe deeply by relaxing, not by forcing it. One more time with the left foot forward. One more time. Feet back under your hips, gather 3 times. As allowing your lungs to expand as fully as you can manage. One more time. Hug the big tree. Okay, Old Man Young's Wild Horse. Roll the hands, right foot forward, expand. Now when the hands expand out, feel your lungs expand not only down but sideways. This is a great one. Because this is a natural opening motion. Let's go back to the right side. And back to the left. One more time. Feet under your hips, gather. Three times. Hug the big tree. Now take both hands over the top. Here's where you've got this really beautiful chance to breathe in nice and deeply. Now I'm lifting my hands up, so it's a little awkward to breathe deeply, but it allows you to feel the side and back perhaps a little better. And then you're going to bring your hands in, kind of laying on top of each other, make fists and stretch straight to the side. And then float down. Big deep breath. And let it go. I'm going to take my left foot just a little forward. And I'm going to sink a little bit as I open the hands up. And then I'm going to take my right foot and sink a little bit as I let that air go. This is called Old Man Rings a Bell. Now, if you have the room, instead of just dancing in place, move slightly forward towards your camera. If you don't have the room, keep moving the feet forward and back. One more time. Stepping back. One more time. Feet back under your hips, gather. Three times. Feel those lungs expand down, sideways, and back. Hug the big tree. Now, this looks very much like Old Man Rings the Bell. But as your hands come down, don't cross your wrist. Let your hands, like this hand's pushing this hand down, and then let them come down about hip high. And your fingers are kind of pointing at each other, elbows to the side, right? Same kind of feel though. Big, rich. Breathe in. And then let it go. Now the hand that's on top, that's pressing the other hand down, you want to take and step slightly in that direction and lean a little bit in that direction. Over the top. This is the snake hides in the tall grass. Instead of moving side to side, if you have the room, little steps forward. And stepping back. One more time. Feet under your hips, gather place. I'm sorry, 3 times. Have it. Hug the big tree. Now, when we make smaller motions, sometimes it's easy to forget that nice, big, full breath. But when you play guitar, you still have that opportunity. Breathe in, breathe out. Not only letting the lungs sink down, but letting them float sideways and letting them float to the back. So even with this nice, gentle motion, you get this nice, full, deep breath. Switch feet. And if you focus on your breathing, You might forget how hard I'm making you work this back leg by just hanging out here. Switch feet again. I had a karate instructor who loved to get us on this kind of one-legged stance. And then he'd go on and talk about who knows what, telling us stories and all kinds of fun things, making us work that leg very strenuously. But sometimes we didn't notice because he was entertaining us. Or perhaps he was torturing us. We never quite figured that out. Switch again. Now I'm going to move forward instead of dancing in place or holding that. So I gently float. Now I've got my arms moving. I've got my feet moving. But I'm focusing on my breath. I am breathing as deeply and widely as I can manage. Now I'm going back. One more time. Gather twice. Oh, I meant 3 times. I should make this up more often so I don't get into that habit. Always having to do things twice instead of 3 times. Hug the big tree. Now needle to the bottom of the sea. This one's a different kind of feel to the form. Switching feet each time. So it's a little bit harder, I think. Get this feeling of nice, big, expansive breathing. But you still want to look for it. You want to breathe in, down, wide, in the back, and then breathe out. One more time. Other side too. Feet back into your hips. Gather 3 times. And hug the big tree. Now the blue dragon rises from the sea. Right hand floats up, left hand kind of trickling like water down the dragon's neck, right? Left toes forward as the left fingers float up. Now this is this nice opening feel again. So this is one of those where it's kind of easier. It's a little easier to work on that nice, full, expanding the lungs, not only down, but to the sides and the back. Once more on each side. Feet under your hips, gather. One more. The victory. Now, grandmother feeds the chickens because we're not expanding in both directions, but rolling the hands around and then letting the hands float down. A little more challenging to feel the lungs go left and right as well as down. Down is almost always the easiest feeling to get. Breathing deeply down, like your lungs go to your hip bone. But even as you circle the arms, breathe in, feel your ribs expand left and right. By relaxing and letting that happen, you can learn to do it most of the time, if not all of the time. You need to do it with enough conscious effort until over time it becomes natural to always breathe deeply. That's the goal. To breathe deeply, naturally, as your normal pattern of breathing. One more time each side. Feet under your hips, gather twice. Make that 3 times. Now draw the bow, shoot the arrow. Both hands are going to swoop to my left side, and then they're going to float out, make fists, and I'm going to sink a little bit into my left foot. And roll the hands around. This is another one because I'm not expanding both sides, not expanding both arms to either side. A little more problematic to feel that left-right expansion in my chest. So I have to kind of like be conscious of it. I want to breathe in, and I want to breathe out. You may find as you breathe in into your belly, right here, you can feel that expansion in your lungs, left, right, and into the back. Once more on each side. Feet under your hips, gather. 3 times. Hug the tree. Now, cloud hands. Cloud hands is a fairly modest motion. So it might be more difficult to get that side and back expansion in your lungs. The way to make that happen is to slow the cloud hands down. So you can breathe in. Oh, feel that fullness, and then breathe out. So slow this part down to allow the lungs to get as full as you can imagine. So make this part the most important part, not this part. Let's move the feet. Once we start moving the feet, we have to be careful we don't lose our nice, deep, full breath. Left foot. Right foot. Left. Right. We'll go back to the left side now. Now, the other way to breathe with cloud hands to get a fuller breath is don't just breathe as the hands in, as the hands float up and out as they float across. But breathe in all the way from up to across and out all the way back. I'm going back to my right. One more time. Let that hand float down. Gather 3 times. Breathe 3 times. Tai Chi expression is long, slow, and deep. It should be long, slow, deep, and full. Hug the big tree. Okay, let's do grasp the sparrow's tail. Hold the ball. I'm going to go off to my right here. Forward off. Pull back. Press. Roll back and push. I'm going to sweep to the left. Now, there's no big expansion in the arms. So you have to make the breath big without a big opening in the arms. And again, the best way to do that is to slow it down a little bit. Don't be in a hurry. So I breathe in fully, deeply. I breathe out. I breathe in. Not in a hurry, letting my lungs gently fill up, and then I breathe out. I do it again. Breathe in. Breathe out. If possible, always breathing through your nose, both in and out. It's a healthier way to breathe. Once more on each side. Back to center. Now gather just once. Let's go to earth breathing. Let the hands settle down about hip bone high. Breathe in. Breathe out. This is a nice form for getting that full breathing. Feel your lungs going down to your hip bones. Feel your lungs expanding the side ribs. Feel the lungs expand in the back ribs, right alongside your spine. Slow it down a little bit. Breathe even slower, even deeper. One more time. When the hands come in this time, let them gently fold over that space just below your belly button. Take one more nice, long, slow, deep breath. And go make a nice day.